We at Interview Kickstart consider ourselves to be the modern way to up level in your career. And by up level, what we mean is we have set up this platform to help you constantly move up in the technical career ladder. Our goal is to equip you to not only get into, but also succeed at the strongest tech teams across the globe, right? Um, if you are working at a company like, let's say, a services company or a Macy's or any other company, while these are all good roles, the kind of challenges, the kind of work, the kind of impact that you can make if you move to product companies, fast growing companies, pre-FAANG, FAANG companies is very, very different. The gating function is always the interview process where they ask these very challenging interview questions. And the truth is, unfortunately, what you require to demonstrate in an interview is very rarely the skills that you need in your day job. These tend to be very deeply algorithmic system design and some amount of domain for managers' leadership skills, the kind of skills that you don't get taught anywhere else, right? Nor do you pick up in a regular day job, the kind of skills you need to learn, right? To make this jump to fundamentally up level in your career, right? And so 7 years ago, Soham and I set up Interview Kickstart with this express purpose, which is we were passionate about helping our fellow engineers make this switch and prepare for, make the transition, and then succeed at creating impact in some of the strongest engineering teams across the globe. We've been running this now very successfully for 7 years. We have a large community of alumni. We've already worked with over 13,000 students. Most of them, ironically, have failed interviews before they came into the program. These folks are our brand ambassadors, right? They are the ones who go out. They are the ones we do this for. The offers that they see coming out of the program tend to range from anywhere between 200, 250,000. The highest we ever seen is about 1.26 million. We started this because we saw this problem firsthand. Soham was amongst the first directors of engineering at Box. He stayed with Box all the way up till the IPO, set up Box's interview process. And while setting up Box's interview process, he kept seeing very well-intended, good folks come into the interview process, but then fail, right? And when he dug in, he realized it's because there was no organized way for them to learn these skills that were tested in an interview. Because unfortunately, like I was saying earlier, the skills that are tested in an interview are very different from the skills you need as part of your day job. My background is that I saw the same thing across many different companies. I used to work in venture capital before this, and I could see all our portfolio companies struggling. On a slightly personal note, guys, I tend to stutter a lot. And growing up, that caused a lot of anxiety, managed to overcome it. And that has been the defining experience in my life. And so I realized that, anxiety can definitely be overcome if you work in the right pathways with the right set of people. And the interview process is probably the most anxiety driven process that is out there, right? You put yourself out there to be judged by somebody who you don't know. It's a time boxed environment. You have 1 hour in which you need to prove yourself. It's totally asymmetric. There are about 17,000 interview questions out there. An interviewer needs to know only one. You need to know or have the ability to answer all those 17,000 questions. The size of the prize is so high, and you have 1 hour in which you need to demonstrate all of this capability. I could relate to that anxiety, and I felt very strongly that there must be something in place to reduce that anxiety and to make sure that it was much easier for the person who was going through that, because that is the person who is betting on themselves, right? Wanting to move up in life and wanting to take their family up with that, right? That is the ethos of who we are. We do this by providing a variety of different, what we call master classes. We have offerings for individual contributors, experienced engineers, engineering managers, product managers, TPMs, and as well as very early engineers, right? So we have different offerings for all aspects of a technical career. Each of these are completely customized, and so no two of you will go down the same path, right? I'll talk to this in a little while. These classes are run live along with video recordings provided. You need to know how to code, but that's about it, right? You do not need to have deep expertise in any of these topics like recursion or dynamic programming or large scale system design. We will assume that you don't know this. And so in every case, the unit of learning for us is a week. In every case, we will teach you all of these skills from absolute scratch, right? And it is a pathway that allows you to go from scratch with an understanding of coding all the way up to be highly proficient to have incredibly successful careers at top companies. Every one of our courses, all our curriculum is developed and it is taught by actual hiring managers. These are folks who are at the bleeding edge of the interview process. They are hiring managers, senior engineers, TLs, engineering managers, directors of engineering, many of whom actually are hiring committee members at the top tech companies. And so you learn from actual practitioners. Now, the reason we do this is we have evolved this entire curriculum based on one fundamental insight, which is that we believe today companies are the new universities. And so the best and brightest today are at these incredible companies like Google. And so if you want to get there, you need curriculum that is developed by them and that is taught by them, right? That is really at the heart of what we do. It is tailored for anybody who wants to invest in themselves and is willing to put in time. Now, you can do this fast, slow, or at the typical place, right? The time is completely customizable and we have different offerings based on the speed at which you want to go to. So time is never going to be a constraint, right? Folks who come to the program tend to move on to what we call FAANG and FAANG plus companies, right? The FAANG set is fairly obvious, right? Google, Amazon, and the likes. But there are a bunch of other really good companies: Snowflake, Roblox, Rubrik, right? Databricks. All of these companies, Stripe, offer very compelling software careers, very enriching software careers. Many of them actually pay better than the FAANG companies, right? So that's the background, guys. In terms of Interview Kickstart, let's dive into how this works.